Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope your day and your weekend are going very well so far. We've got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day comes some new opportunities to go ahead and make some money. Guys, last night was the ultimate kick in the balls. Ultimate kick in the balls. We obviously had two parlays. We had our Freaky Friday 5-leg parlay, and we had our ladder challenge day 2. Both parlays miss by one leg. Both parlays miss by one data point. One data point. Talk about a nut punch. Now, I'm starting off with a recap because in order to explain what my picks are going to be today, I have to go ahead and recap what we did last night. We're going to jump over to GuyBostonSports.com. As always, guys, all my results, all my picks and stuff can be seen over here. Yeah, I mean, it's 2-leg parlay plus 141 odds. Jared Allen over 9.5 rebounds. He had 10 rebounds in that game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 4.5 assists. He finished with 4. However, he technically had 5, but the NBA stat corrected and took an assist away. So he should have cashed, but they take an assist away. He finishes exactly with 4, misses it by 1. It's a nut punch in a lot of ways because of the fact that we also had him over 1.5 3-pointers. Maybe we could just put that prop here and it would have cashed. On this one, LaMelo Ball did not end up playing, so it wasn't even a 5-leg parlay. It ended up becoming a 4-leg parlay. It's been happening a lot lately. Unfortunately, he wasn't even on the injury report, so not much I can do about that. Stupid load management bullshit. But 3 out of 4 legs hit. Maxey was a no doubt. Mobley was a no doubt. Shai hit 3 threes, so he actually went over and had an extra one. Jared Allen had 7 rebounds in the first half, had 10 rebounds midway through the third quarter, and then some NBA stupidity, whatever it is, make a word for it. How it's the Jaren Jackson Jr. thing all over again. And I understand part of it was because it was a blowout, so it's a little bit different than the Jaren Jackson Jr. one, but they sat him for the majority of the second half, majority of the fourth quarter. All we needed was 1 rebound and that hits. Just like I said, guys, it's an absolute nut punch. But you know what? It's all right. The fact that we're that close means that we were pretty much on the money. We just got to do a little bit better today. So I didn't want the ladder challenge to necessarily just end like that because obviously it's supposed to go to Christmas. It just feels very anticlimactic. So here's what I'm going to do. Now we have 4 single bets to go and share with you guys for today. So we do have some single bets that are separate. No more. I'm doing 2 parlays again today. My heart can't take that. We have 4 single bets. We also have a 2-leg parlay. We're going to restart the ladder challenge. We're going to start over. This is day 1 again because I feel like it was so anticlimactic. We did get to day 2. At least it wasn't like we lost on the first day. And normally I don't like to do back-to-back ladder challenges like that because I just feel like after you lose it, you shouldn't just get right back on, take a break, and then do another one. It's Christmas. It's the holiday season. I want to do it. It's my show, and I decided we're going to do another ladder challenge. So Christmas ladder challenge, take 2, day 1. Obviously, the goal is going to be a little bit less because now we're just trying to get from today until Christmas. So maybe I'll go a little riskier with the parlay just to see if we can. I'm not doing a units thing. Like I'm not trying to get let's get to 50 units. Can we cash a plus money parlay from today, Saturday, all the way through Christmas, including Christmas Day? So that's still Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's still 5 days. So can we do 5 consecutive days with plus money parlays? We should, if based off how we did last time. That could net us 20 units. If that's the case, you bet $100, that's $2,000. So that's kind of the goal. Can we get 5 consecutive plus money play hits? That's the goal. If we lose this time, we're not going to do it over again. We'll wait because obviously we're going to be doing another ladder challenge starting January 1st. We do one at the first of every month. So we'll try it again. So 2-leg parlay today. We have obviously our 4 single bets. So lots of picks to get to, guys. No time to waste. Let's jump right in. All right, guys, jumping right into the outlier screen. By the way, guys, if you're watching at this point in today's video, please comment ho, ho, ho down below in the comments if you are watching at this point in today's video. And by the way, thank you for everybody who commented on yesterday's video. We had a ton of interaction. Obviously, I know I kind of, bribed you guys with a gift card, but I appreciate all those who liked, who commented. Everything yesterday was really cool to see. You guys had a lot of Friday After Next. Really got a lot. I think that was probably the most written. That and Home Alone. Those were the 2 that had the most written comments yesterday. I will be getting in contact with one person, one lucky commenter for a $25 Amazon gift card. Guys, I'm going to say this because a couple of the last winners I've handed out, people don't get back to me. I can't give you the gift card if you guys don't respond. I don't want people to think I'm not giving out the winning cards, but like the last 4 videos that I've done winning cards on, the people have not responded to me. If you guys do win, I'm going to comment on yesterday's post. You have to DM me on Instagram at Tassos Picks in order for me to send you guys the gift card. That way I can verify and I know that this person is real, because we did get scammed a couple months ago with one of these gift card giveaways. So yeah, so make sure, guys, if I do pick you, please go ahead and DM me at Tassos Picks so we can go ahead and give me a gift card. I don't want you guys to win and then not even receive your prize. So comment ho ho ho. We're already 5 minutes in this video. I apologize. This is super long intro. I do apologize. Maybe I'll put a time card in so you guys can skip through all this if you want to. I don't like doing these long intros. I apologize for that. I know you guys are here for the picks. All right. Starting off with our 2-leg ladder challenge parlay. The first leg, we're targeting the Celtics-Bulls game, 8 p.m. tip-off. We're going Derek White of the Boston Celtics over 19.5 points plus assists. This is available on DraftKings for -175 odds. This parlay is a 2-leg parlay. I believe it's plus 150. The odds will obviously be updated in the GuyBostonSports.com website post that's in the pinned comment. So make sure to check that out for updated odds. I believe it's a 2-leg parlay plus 150 odds on this bet. We have Derek White over 19.5 points plus assists. The data, of course, being alternate line, is really solid. 8 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over. It's an 80% hit rate, averaging 21.5 points plus assists per game. So far in 2024, an 85% hit rate for Derek White on the over. He's cashed it in 22 out of 26 games this year, averaging 22.19 points plus assists per game. So really good numbers. You see a lot of green there across the board. The head-to-head data also really solid. Each of his last 5 meetings with the Chicago Bulls, including both times they played this year, he's cashed the over, 100% hit rate, averaging 23.4 points plus assists per game. They just played, obviously, literally 2 days ago, which was Joe Mazzulla was flame out at the end of the game. It was hilarious. I love Mazzulla. I hated him at first. I love him now. He's a typical Boston coach in my mind. Like, he's just awesome. But he had 16 points and 4 assists in the game. A narrow cash, but a cash nonetheless. And we know the Bulls overall this year, they are a defensive nightmare. 29th in points allowed overall, 29th in assists allowed overall versus shooting guards, 26th in points, 16th in assists. So across the board, really good matchup, really good data, really good spot for the first leg of our 2-leg parlay. And for the second leg of our 2-leg parlay, I did this again yesterday where I did the later game first, the earlier game second. Technically, this should have been the first leg, but the second leg of our 2-leg parlay, we have Lakers Kings, 6 p.m. tip-off. We got Domantas Sabonis of the Sacramento Kings over 24.5 points plus assists. Again, -175 odds here on DraftKings. To those getting mad, I don't use FanDuel. I try my best to use FanDuel when they have it, but FanDuel just doesn't have a lot of alternate lines all the time. So they're good for single bets. For single bets, they have usually the best lines, but for alternate lines, it's DraftKings is still king. But all right, 9 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over a 90% hit rate, averaging 29.6 points plus assists per game. He's been blowing through this line pretty consistently. The one time he missed back on December 5th versus Memphis, that was I believe that was the Jaren Jackson Jr. game that cost us our earlier ladder challenge in the beginning of the month. Sabonis missed by 2 points plus assists in that game. So far in 2024, a 73% hit rate for Sabonis. 19 out of 26 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 27.54 points plus assists per game this year. So pretty good data across the board for Sabonis. Overall this year, the Lakers 19th in points allowed, 26th in assists allowed. Not a very good defensive team this year versus centers. 24th in points, 21st in assists, so not very good. The head-to-head data has been pretty solid. He's cashed it in each of his last 5 meetings with the Lakers, including both times this year. They played again 2 days ago. He had 18 points and 9 assists. The time before that, back in October 26th, he had 29 points and 10 assists. 83% hit rate over the last 6 games, averaging 29 points plus assists per game against the Lakers. So really good data across the board. What could help us, or I guess it could technically hurt us, is the fact that AD, Rui, and LeBron are all game time decisions. If multiple guys are out, this could end up being a blowout situation, which does concern me a little bit, but I think Sabonis, the matchup is too rich to go ahead and avoid. So love Sabonis here, over 24.5 points plus assists. That's the second leg of our 2-leg parlay, plus 150, plus 149, something in that realm. That is the ladder challenge take 2 day 1 parlay. All right, guys, now moving on to our single bets. These are not part of the parlay. These are single individual bets. I have 4 of these to hand out. Sticking with the Lakers-Kings game, 6 p.m. tip-off. We're going DeMar DeRozan of the Sacramento Kings over 24.5 points plus assists. It's available on multiple sportsbooks for varying odds. It looks like DraftKings -115 or BetMGM -110, depending on what sportsbooks are available to you. Those are the way to go. Now, the most recent data is okay, but the overall data for this prop is really solid. Last 10 games for DeRozan, 5 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over, a 50% hit rate, averaging 25.6 points plus assists per game over the last 10 games. However, so far in 2024, the data is not bad. 65% hit rate, 15 out of 23 games. He's cashed the over, averaging 26 points plus assists per game. So not bad data overall in the year for DeRozan. In the last 10 games, you see a couple more misses more consistently, but overall, the data is not bad for DeRozan. The head-to-head data is also really solid. 3 of his last 4 meetings with the Lakers, he's cashed the over, including one of the 2 times this year. Back on October 26th, he had 23 points and 3 assists. The other night, only 10 points and 4 assists in that one. And the reality is he just didn't shoot the ball well. He took 13 shots. He went 4 for 13, 31% from the floor. Again, he missed it, but, it's just a bad shooting night overall. Look at the last few games versus the Lakers. He's playing the minutes. He played 35 minutes. He's shooting 64% from the floor overall this year. I don't see him shooting 31% again. Again, if he shoots his normal line, we should have a cash overall. Again, the Lakers, not a very good defensive team versus shooting guards. 20th in points allowed, 28th in assists allowed. So it's a good matchup spot. The Lakers have a poor defense. He had cashed it pretty consistently versus the Lakers coming into that last game. I like the spot for DeRozan overall here. Next up, we got Cam Johnson under 23.5 points in the Jazz-Nets game. 7:30 p.m. Tip-off here. We're getting this one from -111 on FanDuel. There you go, FanDuel, guys. You get one pick there. Cam Johnson under 23.5 points. He's cashed this under in 6 of his last 10 games, a 60% hit rate, averaging 19.1 points per game over his last 10 games. Overall in 2024, a 73% hit rate on this under for Cam Johnson. 19 out of 26 games he's cashed the under, averaging 19.19 points per game this year. Now, of course, due to injuries, his role, his number of shots, everything has increased because Cam Thomas, who was taking about 54 shots per game for Brooklyn before getting hurt, that he's gone. Obviously, a lot of injuries for the Nets. No Bogdanovich, D'Anthony Melton out for the year. I think the guy actually wasn't he on the Warriors? Did they get him in that Dennis Schroeder trade? I don't honestly. I'll be honest. I remember that Schroeder got traded to Golden State. I don't remember what the exact trade was. I thought Melton was on the Warriors. Either way, he's not playing tonight. That's for sure, and apparently not for the rest of the year. But a couple of bench guys. But the big one here, obviously, is the fact that Cam Thomas is not playing. He took a lot of shots for this team. And you see that without Cam Thomas, it's a 44% hit rate on the under, 22.67 points per game. So without Cam Thomas, obviously his role within the offense increases. He takes more shots. I'm still not overly concerned, though, despite the fact that his number of shots and whatnot increases because of the Jazz defense, especially versus power forwards. Versus power forwards this year, the Jazz are top 5, 5th in the NBA, gave up just 19.2 points per game. Versus centers, they're actually not very good at all, but versus power forwards, they are the 5th best defense in the NBA. Only give up 19.2 points per game to opposing power forwards. And obviously the head-to-head data here, each of his previous 2 meetings with Utah, both, of course, taking place last season, he cashed the under both times, averaging 12 points per game against the Jazz last season. He wasn't taking nearly as many shots as he is now, obviously. He did take 10 shots the last time they played, shot 6 for 10. He's taking about 14 shots per game with Cam Thomas out. So obviously the volume is higher for Cam Johnson, but the facts remain the same. Utah is very good defensive leaders to power forwards. Despite the increased usage from Cam Johnson, I still think the under of 23.5 points is a really solid bet here to take. All right, guys, next up, going back to that Celtics-Bulls game, 8 p.m. tip-off, we're going Nikola Vucevic of the Chicago Bulls over 30.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. We're getting this one for -120 on DraftKings. It is available on multiple sports books for varying odds. Look at the data for Vucevic. 8 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over, an 80% hit rate, averaging 35.2 points plus rebounds plus assists per game over his last 10 games. So far in 2024, an 81% hit rate for Vucevic. 22 out of 27 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 33.93 points plus rebounds plus assists per game. For getting this where we're getting at, -110 to -120, depending what sportsbook you use. Getting that with an 81% hit rate on the year, really good data for this prop. 3 of his last 5 games against the Boston Celtics, including both times this year, he's cashed the over, a 60% hit rate, averaging 31.4 points plus rebounds plus assists per game. So really good numbers across the board here for Vucevic. Again, they just played the other night. He had 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists in that game. I know Boston across the board, it says here they're really solid defensively versus centers, 1, 2, and 3 in all those categories, which is pretty impressive. But if you actually watch the game, centers still can have some success versus this team. Porzingis is really good around the rim, but he's not I would say a lockdown center. He's not a defensive player of the year candidate, and neither is Al Horford. So I think Vucevic should still get his numbers here. He did the other night. I don't see why he shouldn't get it again tonight. And our final pick in today's video, guys, we have the Blazers-Spurs game, 8:30 p.m. tip-off. We got DeAndre Ayton of the Portland Trail Blazers over 13.5 points. Now, this line keeps jumping. When I first picked this morning, it was at -120 about an hour ago. It's now jumped to -135 to -140. It might go even higher. The actual line now is at 14.5 points for DeAndre Ayton. That's because the matchup, the books are starting to catch up to people betting this number. 7 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over, a 70% hit rate, averaging 14.2 points per game over his last 10 games. So far in 2024, a 67% hit rate for Ayton on this over 12 out of 18 games, averaging 14.28 points per game this year. Ayton's having a pretty okay year. Not bad, not great. But for this line purposes, 67% hit rate, not too bad. The key thing here, though, is the head-to-head data. Each of his previous 2 meetings with the San Antonio Spurs, including the one time they played this year back on November 7th, he's cashed the over, averaging 20.5 points per game versus San Antonio. So he's had a good amount of success versus the Spurs. And it makes sense versus centers. San Antonio this year, 23rd in points allowed, giving him 19.9 points per game to opposing centers. So a pretty good defensive matchup here. Even with Wemby playing, I'm not too concerned with him not cashing the over here. We also have the insights provided by Outlier. Now, this is the point up. You could go to 14.5. It's actually plus money right now. I'm taking 13.5, but the insights provided by Outlier. DeAndre Ayton has exceeded 14.5 points in 14 of his last 17 games on the road, averaging 19.1 points per game on the road over his last 17 games. If I go ahead and adjust that to the 13.5 line, looking at the insight, it now goes to 88%. So 15 of his last 17 games on the road, he's cashed this over. 88% hit rate, averaging 19.12 points per game. So on the road, Ayton definitely has been playing a little bit better. So really good data points across the board here for Ayton. I would bet this line sooner rather than later because the odds are just going to keep jumping higher and higher as the day goes along. So guys, those are all my picks in today's slate. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Believe it or not, I actually will be back tomorrow. I normally don't do videos on Sundays. I will be doing a video tomorrow, especially if we win the ladder challenge. You know, we need to do day 2, obviously, but with the holiday season and everything, we're not going to have a video on Tuesday because of Christmas Eve. So I figure I'll do an extra video tomorrow to make up for the fact that we won't have a video on Tuesday. And that's not my fault. There's literally no NBA games on Christmas Eve. So I can't physically do a video for you guys. So we'll make up for that by doing a video tomorrow instead. I got a little extra time in the schedule tomorrow to go ahead and do that. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow with another NBA player prop video. Until then, hope you're all winners.